This family spent all their savings on buying a house. But when they moved in, they found that the building was tilted. When the boy placed a marble on the ground, the marble actually rolled towards the balcony. To verify his inner suspicion, the man placed another marble on the ground. As a result, the marble didn't move at all. The wife thought her husband was overthinking it. The building couldn't possibly be tilted. So the man didn't pay too much attention to it. Suddenly, it rained heavily at night, causing the main body of the building to sink by 10 centimeters. People were unaware that a disaster was approaching. The next day, the man was astonished to find that there were cracks on the road surface that had been smoothed just the day before. He quickly informed the property management about the matter and asked the property management to repair the road surface as soon as possible. Unexpectedly, the property management was afraid of spending money and didn't repair it for a whole month. Soon, something terrifying happened. The man was awakened by a violent shake. He opened the window to check, and there were long cracks on the road surface. The neighbors fled in panic. Before he could react, the ceiling suddenly fell down. The man thought it was just an earthquake. Unexpectedly, his house fell rapidly and dropped into a huge pit. Fortunately, the building got stuck in midair. At this time, the wife who had gone to buy groceries came back and found that the house had disappeared. She simply couldn't believe it. On the other side, just as the man was at a loss, a car suddenly fell from the sky and crashed directly into his living room. After the car stopped, the man found that it was actually his colleague. He quickly went up to rescue him. Unexpectedly, due to pulling too hard, the car door handle was broken. Seeing that the car was falling, the colleague pulled hard on the car door handle. Fortunately, the building fell again and just happened to get the car stuck at the edge. The man successfully pulled his colleague out. They began to look for survivors and soon found several survivors. In order to get in touch with the people above, they went to the rooftop to make a phone call, but found that there was no signal at all there. So they shouted desperately towards the entrance of the pit. Despairingly, there was no response all the time. Fortunately, the rescue team arrived in time and decided to use a drone to explore the way first. Unexpectedly, as soon as the drone flew in, it suddenly lost its signal. The drone fell to the ground rapidly. The survivors were very excited when they saw this. Then the neighbor picked up the drone and called out desperately. The violent shakes made them lose their balance. They could only grab whatever they could around them. But the man's colleague was in a bad situation. He slid along the tilted angle to the edge of the building. The female neighbor tried to reach out and pull him, but the length of her arm was limited. After seeing that there were electric wires above, the female neighbor quickly climbed towards the electric wires. Fortunately, she successfully got hold of the electric wires. Then she quickly threw the wires to her colleague. They pulled the wires with all their strength, but the wires had aged due to exposure to wind and sun, and couldn't bear the weight and broke. Fortunately, they successfully grabbed the man's foot, and thus managed to escape the danger by a narrow margin. At this moment, the drone suddenly got its signal back. Then the drone flew out of the pit. The rescue team also found the survivors. Will they be successfully rescued?